Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sippin Sundays. I'm not sure if you can see me clearly or not, but anyway, I'm here. It seems like we're having some technical difficulties on YouTube. It's where you can't live stream like you maybe once could, so we're going to do what it does. So I'm going to go ahead and take my commentary here and then upload it on YouTube after I'm done. So it'll be a little shorter than normal because I have dedicated 30 minutes out of my Sundays to be with you all. Only got 20 minutes left, so let's get into it. We had a long discussion last month about credit card debt because right now for Sippin Sundays, we're in the series about reducing debt. And so, of course, last month we talked about reducing credit card debt and maybe some out-of-the-box ideal ways to do that. Now, in months prior, we talked about saving and how, where, why it's important to save. So this particular section or this quarter, we'll talk about debt reduction. And I normally do the why, how, save. I normally do that, but I think this leads to another trail. So I think I'm just gonna go with that and talk about some other important strategies on how to reduce debt. So again, last month we talked about reducing debt via for your credit cards rather, via different methods. And so this month, let's talk about reducing debt in a way of refinancing. Now, there's a lot of questions concerning to refinance, not to refinance, why to refinance, how do you really refinance effectively? So I'd like to spend this Sippin Sunday discussing that in particular because there's so many questions that I get from clients about refinancing, especially right now. There is a lot of opportunity to refinance, whether it be your home, whether it be your car. So I think this is a great time to talk about refinancing strategies, especially during these times where we have such uncertainty. And the interest rates are favorable towards those who may be looking to take these kinds of actions. So let's go. One of the things that I always consider, especially when I'm talking to clients, one area I'd like to consider refinancing is the car. So let's say you have an auto loan. Let's say the interest rate is 7%, which could be categorized as high. And you pay $500 for your car per month. Now, $500 for a car, I don't think is that high. I've paid a lot less, but then again, my cars have not always been new. So I have a new, well, now it's 2 years old, but I maybe 3 vehicles in my life. Out of all the cars that I bought and my husband's bought, 3 vehicles for me have been new. So I'm driving my newest vehicle. It's 2 years old now. I don't plan on giving it up anytime soon. I like it. But anyway, when you have a vehicle and you're paying a loan for it, it's always good to consider refinancing. Again, let's go back to the example of 7%, $500 a month. You have been making payments on the car. You've been on time, at least over the last 6 months. You might be a good candidate to refinance your car. Now, when you refinance a car, a lot of people say, well, hey, isn't that like starting over? Well, it is like starting over, but if you go in a refinancing situation to where you're able to go on and put the plan, just like we talked about last month, going in with a plan for debt reducing your credit card, same thing. We got to go in with a plan. So you don't want to go into a refinancing situation saying, well, shoot, this is extra money. I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to whatever. So instead of $500 a month, now I'm paying $350 and woo, this $150 is to blow. Y'all know me better than that by now. But here are some tips or some things to figure out if refinancing is right for you. If you feel like your payment is too high, you might want to consider refinancing. If you find that when you're looking into interest rates and you find that interest rates are lower than what you had when you first started this auto loan, refinancing may be right for you. Here's how I go into a refinancing situation. First of all, I evaluate, what my interest is. I didn't say my payment, I said my interest. See, the thing that I think makes a difference is that when you are considering wealth, you have to change the mindset from how much is my payment per month to how much am I really paying for this car. So my first car that I bought on my own was a Toyota Corolla, and it was used, of course. But when I bought it, I'm sure my interest rate was sky high. I have no idea what my interest rate was because I just didn't know back then. I didn't know to even look at an interest rate. All I thought about was, well, shoot, I can afford this $239.46 payment. I can afford that. But I may actually have paid for my Toyota Corolla 8 times if I just made the payments, over time. I have no idea. So now that I do know, when we go in to purchase a car, the question is not how much I'm paying per month and if I can afford that, though that's important. The question is, what is the bottom line? What is the final price if I take this car and I get this loan at this particular interest rate, at these payments per month? What is the bottom line of my cost for this car? If I bought the car for $20,000, at the end of this loan, at this interest rate, and at this payment per month, how much have I paid? In some cases, you'd be really surprised. Like, if you don't have pristine credit, you can go buy a 2020 Corolla and probably pay what you would have paid for a 2020 Cadillac. I mean, the interest means that much. So if you're in a case where you feel like your interest rate is high, especially if it's in double digits, make sure you make your payments on time for 6 months straight. This is going to be a real difference maker. The key is that once you go into to start inquiring about refinancing your car, the first thing is to get with a credit union. I personally love credit unions. I think they are so helpful when it comes to these kinds of situations to get your credit in a prepared or in a better stance than what it could be today. So go to a credit union and talk to someone there concerning your vehicle. Take with you how much you owe. And sometimes you can do like a 14-day payoff through the current lender. Find out what the 14-day payoff is so the new bank will know. Because most of the times when you refinance a car, you can't always refinance with the agency that has the car loan. You have to find somebody else to refinance your car normally. But again, highly recommend a credit union. Go and talk to them again. Take the 14-day payoff. You probably need your VIN number too. They'll be able to tell you a little bit more about the Kelley Blue Book value of your car, because what will happen is they will give you at least up to the value of your car. So let's take my Toyota Corolla, for instance. If I bought my Corolla for $20,000, I owe $20,000 on my Corolla, but my Corolla is only worth 18. Then that new financing agency may only give me $18,000. So that means that other $2,000 that I owe, I'm on the hook for that. So just be aware that that's something that you'll need to consider in a refinancing option. As you go, they'll tell you the Kelley Blue Book. If you owe more than what the value is, a lot of times they'll just say, well, we can give you up to this much. I know some credit unions will give you up to 120% of the value of your car. So let's say you owe, and I'm using real simple math here. Let's say your car is, and again, simple. So bear with me. I'm just going to use $1,000 here. Say your car is worth $1,000. Then if they give you 120% value of your car, then they'll give you $1,200 of a loan for your car, even though your car is only worth $1,000. So just multiply that by the, number, times, 20, you maybe owe $20,000 in your car. So some agencies actually do give you that, which is really awesome. And you want to take that because a lot of times when people drive off the lot, the car is worth a lot less than what they just paid for it. So just be aware of that. When you go to the agency, again, take your VIN number with you, take your 14-day payoff so they can have a good evaluation on what terms would be given to you from them. What you want to look for is an agency that does give you more than 100% value of your car so you can have an actual decent loan. You also want some options like, can you pay it off 60 months, 72 months, 84 months, 96 months? How long can you repay for? Because what you're ultimately looking for is a lower payment, but you're also looking for a lower interest rate. When you get those two, you're going to start to win because you're going to be able to not only lower your payments, but more of your payment actually be applied to the principal. Now, that's not the end of it. So again, you have to go on with a plan. What we have done in the past is when we've refinanced cars in the past, it's been a long time, but when we have done this, what we've done is refinance the car. We would still consider what we was paying before. So say I was paying $400 for a car and all of a sudden it's $300 because of the refinancing situation. I would still pay the now $300. I would save the other $100 though. And so as I continue to compound the savings that I have, plus the now new extra $100 that I've just saved because I don't have to pay $400, now I'm paying $300. And as my savings accumulate more quickly, now I'm able to take this lump sum that I, grown over the past quarter, maybe even 6 months, take it and dump it on the principal. Now, other people might tell you, oh, we'll just continue to pay the same as you were paying. And that's not a bad idea necessarily if you have adequate savings. But if you don't have adequate savings, you want to make sure that you're adding as much savings as you can to keep your debt low so you're not running a credit card on the other end. So this is a whole picture here. This is the totality of your debt picture. So we don't just do one and negate the other. We work all of them at the same time. So again, compound your savings, and then every quarter, maybe every 6 months, maybe even every year, just depends. Take a lump sum and dump a lump sum onto your car. So now the interest rate that you have will still be effective, but now the interest charges will be different because the interest charges can only be as high as what your principal is, if you will. So if your principal balance was $10,000 and you dumped $5,000, the interest charges that you're experiencing will be now about half of what they were when you were at the $10,000 principal. So just an idea, this is how we paid off, new, used, and in between cars, and we've paid them off way more quickly than we would have had we not done anything. Now, when I say take your savings, I'm not saying take the entire amount of savings, but what I am recommending is no more than half of what you have saved. We still want to keep some adequate savings in there, but we also want to debt reduce at the same time. So next month, we will talk about the importance of trying to do this now for your house. But this month, I definitely wanted to take a minute and talk with you all about how to effectively do that for a car. Again, the whole point is not to, throw a party now that you saved a couple $100 on paying your car note. That's not the key. The key is to be able to get the refinancing conditions right for you. And as you are not paying them, you're actually saving money to then be able to compound it and then dump. For us, we were saving about $2,500 a quarter, if I remember correctly. So there was, again, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of stuff that we were not doing. We were saying no to this and no to that. And we were saving, $800, $850 or whatever a month, just so that we can do this. So we were able to save about $2,500 per quarter, and we were able to considerably put nice big chunks onto our cars. after about 4 quarters or a year worth, you know, if we hadn't paid that one car off yet, we were really well on our way to actually paying that car off. And so again, it takes a lot of sacrifice. No is not a forever no or a permanent no. We've talked about this before. It's temporary no. But as you do, you're able to pay down your debt much more quickly. You're able to still not accumulate more debt because you're not spending up your credit cards, because you continue to have adequate savings. So again, this is a balanced approach. This is a whole picture, not just one lane. And so I know I probably ran through that super quickly, but I wanted to still be able to, you know, share a video with you during the time frame in which Sippin Sundays will still be on. I'm sorry that I could not stream with you today. Please feel free still to comment. Let us know if this was helpful. Of course, you can always reach me at thefinancialt.org. That is my website. Again, THEFINANCIAL.org. You can always also call me, 910-545-6510. Yes, that is a Jacksonville, North Carolina phone number. I no longer live there. I live in Virginia now. We were stationed there when we first got married, long story. Anyway, and then also you can always email me too, tina@thefinancialt.org. That is TINA@THEFINANCIAL, the letter T.org. I'm so excited that you were able to join with me today. Again, I apologize for not being able to stream live with you, but please feel free to throw your comments, questions into the chat box. I want to still be able to respond to them as quickly as possible. And I thank you. And until we meet again, I'm wishing you God's best. Take care. Please stay safe. Wear your mask. Social distance. Let's not be stupid. Let's stay safe. Let's stay alive. Because what is all this if we're no longer here? So I'm going to continue to stay safe. See my clients virtually. So just be safe. And also make sure you register to vote. So it's going down November 3rd. So take care of yourself. Love you, and hope to talk with you very soon.